Hey guys, Pat here. Welcome to another video. Yes, that's surprising. I mean, it's not surprising if you saw the last video where I showed you the games that I played last year in 2024. Right now it's 8th January 2025 already, and I said in the last video that I kind of missed making videos and I kind of want to do it again, especially because I want to start a new YouTube channel and I wanted to do that since last year, but I keep procrastinating. The thing is that whenever I go in the other room to record, I find myself being very it's hard to find words because I'm very out of shape physically too, of course, but also mentally and mouth wise. So I was like, okay, I will start to do videos again on GamerPet. I have like 10 people who still watch me somehow after like almost 15 years since I've started StarCraft 2. 20 something years since the Hat-Trick era, if there are people who know me since Hat-Trick. Anyway, that's the main reasons why I'm doing videos, is that I missed it and I kind of want to start learning to chat again. Yeah, so video from a couple of days ago was the games that I played in 2024. Those are the games that I have installed and they are kind of like in my place. They are installed because I want to play them. They are installed because I bought them, and then some of them have been installed for like 2 years or something. Anyway, the idea is that I will show you some games. I will talk about them a little bit, and maybe there will be something that you will find interesting or not. Also, as you can see behind me, I started to do some cleaning. It's time. I think it's time to do some cleaning and organize my drawers and whatnot. I also have been 3D printing some stuff. I don't know why. I've been 3D printing some stuff. I'm also preparing for a video that I will record in the other room with the books that I've read in 2024, and I will also do the same there with the books that are wishlisted. I mean, not wishlisted. I bought them, but they are on queue to be read, in theory at least. And I've been starting to kind of like even the wish list, delete the wish list and whatnot. Why? Because I want to populate that wish list with new things, and if there have been a couple of years, if I haven't touched that thing yet, I'm not going to touch it now, because there will always be new things that are going to pop up that are going to excite me. So on Goodreads, I've deleted like a lot of books that they were in to read. I didn't even knew why some of the books were there, in like why I wanted to read them in the first place. Kind of same thing here. Let me press this button. I've also started to list things on OLX because I want to sell some of the books and some of the things that I've been having in around the house. I'm like, why am I keeping those things? Like, I don't need those things anymore. Let's try to sell them and, I don't know, put those money to other things. I don't know. Anyway, without further ado, I will start by showing. I am paying for Game Pass, which I think it's a very good value. The thing is that we are Romanians. I'm Romanians, and a couple of the people who are watching me are Romanian, and we do have access to piracy stuff, torrent stuff, right? So we can access a lot of free games, which I stopped doing that for a good number of years. Why? Because I have games that I paid and I'm not playing them. Now with Game Pass, right, I'm paying a subscription fee, which is like 40 lei, 8 euros per month, something like that. And I can install games and I can play them, and I'm installing them and I'm not playing them. And then sometimes some games that I wanted to play, they are running out, like they are phasing out of the subscription. And I'm like, Anyway, we do have kind of like an issue. How are we going to deal with it? This is what I'm trying to do this year. I'm trying to cut down on buying things, and I'm trying to cut down on... I say that it's only January 8th, so I'm only saying that. Probably I'm curious how that asks me in a couple of months. From what I've read, things, New Year resolutions usually go until around February, and then people kind of forget about them. Let's see how this is going to work out for me. But anyway, what things do I have installed on Game Pass? Aliens Dark Descent. I saw this one on Steam and I was intrigued by it, and I played it for 1 hour, and that for 1 hour was okay, but I'm not sure why I haven't continued. I know why, but I will tell you in a second. Another Crab's Treasure, it's a game that has been popping up on the lists. It's kind of like a Souls-like game-ish where you play with a crab. So I was like, okay, I'm a bit intrigued. Ara, History Untold, it's a history game, grand strategy game, kind of like that. I was like, oh, it's available on Game Pass, I'm going to install it. Haven't entered it. Same thing with Core Keeper. I did play it a little bit, I mean, for 0.5 hours, and was like, I'm not in the mood to learn a new game. Harold's Halibut, it was, I think it's an adventure game. The store for Game Pass is so poorly. Like, I want to show you some screenshots, but it's not showing me screenshots. See in store. If I press this, okay, maybe only if I press this. I've seen it's kind of like an adventure game, point and click, I believe. It looked very interesting visually, and that's what it drew my attention. Let's also go to another Crab's Treasure. It does depend. I mean, I will maybe make a video about this some other time, but I'm curious, like sometimes I'm in the mood to play games that are going to be story immersed. Sometimes I'm in the mood to play games that are using a controller. Sometimes I'm in the mood to play a game that I'm only playing with mouse while I also watch a podcast on the second monitor, like for example Football Manager or Hearthstone in the past when I was doing it, or it does depend on how. So I'm always having like, sometimes I'm again like World of Tanks, for example, or World of Warcraft, or other games like that where I don't have to, I'm playing the games more mechanical way, and I don't have to pay attention, I don't have to learn the game. So I always have like one or two games in different categories that I'm playing, and then I'm switching between them. Hollow Knight, I've always tried to get into this type of games, and I've tried it, and now I've installed it again because I do want to maybe try it. Maybe people say it's great, but I'm not in the mood to play Metroidvania, especially this type of hardcore Metroidvanias where you have boss fights and you have to learn, and if you die you have to run again. I don't enjoy that. The new Indiana Jones, I heard that it's very good. I've installed it. I've only played it a little bit, but the thing is that, as I've said in the last video, my PC is getting a little bit old. It's 4 years already. It's a Ryzen 390 something, I don't know. And the video card is a 370, and I would love to buy one of those 5000 series cards, like 5080 or something, but no money yet. I don't want to buy a cheap car just so I can drive around. That's more important right now than buying a video card. And maybe at the end of the year, in December, I will, for my birthday, I will buy a new PC or something. I don't know. I have to see what the new year will provide. Manor Lords, I kept waiting for this game to come out. It came out, but it felt a little bit shallow. It's in early access, so I was like, I'm going to wait for it. Neon White, people said last year in 2023, people said it's a very good game, and then I saw it came on Game Pass. I was like, I'm going to install it, but I haven't entered it at all. It's kind of like one of those speedrun type of games, I believe, or something like that. I forgot. Nine Souls, again, it kind of popped up this year on people lists. Return to Monkey Island, I love Monkey Island games. I have this game installed since it came out. It was available on Game Pass and only played it a little bit, but haven't finished it. To a point where I'm thinking like, do I really enjoy things if I'm not really playing them or whatever? I don't know. Stalker, I stopped playing Stalker. I have like 28 hours, as you can see. In the game, it's very unoptimized. I'm not playing it at full quality, and I kind of want to enjoy the whole graphic aspects. But what pains me a lot about Stalker is the fact that it happened twice already. The game loads after I died, the game loads, and then the game doesn't load, so I have to restart the PC. And when I entered the game again, I lost my saves. Not all the saves, but I lost like 30 something minutes of progress that I made, and it just happened again. I was like, okay, I don't want to deal with this. It's kind of like an excuse to push it later, and maybe, well, now because I kind of know some of the things I did invest a lot of time into the game, and I'm kind of like, I'm not sure when I am to restart playing the game, if I am ever going to restart playing the game. I do have the save files, so maybe I will start with the same files when I will do this again. I don't know. Sifu, it's one of those hardcore games that I'm not going to pay money to you know, those games where you fail and you try again, and then you fail, you try again. But I was intrigued by the way you have to push buttons so you can fight, kind of like Old Boy vibes, the movie. I never wanted to buy it because I know that it's a game that I won't enjoy that much, maybe, but it came up on Game Pass and I installed it and I only played it a little bit. Terra Invicta, interesting game. It's still in early access, which is why I'm not playing it yet. Kind of like this grand strategy game where aliens are invading and you're trying to kind of make political stuff to survive their invasion, something like that. The Case of the Golden Idol, another. I was intrigued by the concept of the game. It's like you have to solve murders, but the way you solve the murders, they are not like in a clear path. You can do whatever you want, kind of like maybe in Return to Obra Dinn, something like that. So I've installed it, but I haven't played it. And of course, Warhammer 40k Bolt Gun. And I was in the mood for a boomer shooter, and I played this game for a couple of hours, 8.8 hours. I'm at the end of chapter 2. Chapter 3 is the last one, but I kind of got bored. It's not really providing you with new things, and you kind of get bored of the same thing again and again, but it's a very solid game, especially that it's on Game Pass, so you can try it out. I was planning on kind of making a video about it to show it to you a little bit, but I'm not sure yet. Then, of course, you also kind of have games that you want to play, play later, which I will go very briefly, very fast. Frostpunk 2, I've already played it last year. I'm done with it. Star Tracker, I was intrigued, but then I wasn't in the mood to play it. Palworld, I will wait for the game to come out full. I'm not in... Pokemon was never my thing, and I'm not really attracted by that. Cocoon looked interesting. War Tales, I tried to play it a little bit, but I wasn't able to get into it. Talent of Lana, Lies of P, Quake 2, I played a little bit of Quake 2. This is the remastered version. Celeste, not my thing for sure, but then I've read some articles about the platforming aspect on how much time they spend to work on the character controller, and I was like, okay, that's intriguing. I'm going to install it. Turtle Ninja Shadow Revenge, this is kind of like the type of game that you play with someone, co-op. Yeah, not yet. Star Wars Wulong, Dune Spice Wars, I played it a little bit, couldn't get into it. Power Wash Simulator, I played it like 2 years ago. It was a good depression type game. And kind of this is it that I have right now. So let's go and look on Steam. Jesus Christ. I'm drinking Spezi, kind of like a cola mix with Fanta from Germany. So Keeper RL is the game that I'm going to make a video. Drova Forsaken Kin, it's a game that I'm currently playing, and I'm very, very intrigued by the game on how it looks and the story-wise. I'm kind of getting immersed into it. I'm playing it on Steam Deck in the dormitory when I'm sitting in the bed. Starcom, it was kind of on my wish list for some time, and I was like, let's play it. I kind of don't enjoy the games where you have to build a ship like this. Like hexagons are modules, and then you are building the ship out of those hexagon modules, and you can get the ship to be a little bit not symmetric. I don't know, I kind of find it not realistic, whatever that means. It's a game, it shouldn't supposed to be realistic, but I was never attracted with that idea. But the thing is that you see the ship like this and then you fly it around, and I've only played it a little bit, and when I say that, as you can see, 0.6 hours, not even 1 hour. I did the tutorial and a little bit of some more just to fly around. I don't like the portraits. This is why I kind of stayed away from the game for some time, but let's try it out. You do have a research screen that is going to make your ship better. You have other dialogues, and the reviews are 92% and 84%, so I was like, that's pretty good. So it was in early access, so yeah, and I paid for it. I think it was less. I bought it during a sale. Royce 2, I said that I played the game for 13 hours. They are preparing a DLC soon. I kind of got my dose of the game, even that I think that maybe when the DLC is coming out in 1 week, I will buy the DLC and maybe play the game some more, because there are still things that I have to discover and things to unlock. But this is one of those games where I don't feel that I need to be immersed. The thing is that now that I've unlocked more into the game. I'm going more into age number 3, so it makes a game longer, which means that generally I'm stopping the game to do other things, and when I'm coming back I don't know where I was. Like generally you have those hexagons and then you are trying to build things in those hexagons, but you're trying to create a symmetry, like as you can see here. If you are breeding the lion, if you get more points based or more whatever based on the neighboring hexagons, right? So you're trying, or other things related to the biome, you're trying to find things that communicate to each other so you get more points, more whatever, right? More resources. And I kind of find it interesting and it is enjoyable, but you know, when I'm coming back I'm like, I already forgot what I had in the other game and I have to spend time to see where I had other things. Angerfoot, I will make a video about this game because it's very fast, only 2.2 hours, but it was very funny. It's one of those games like I don't know what to do for the next 15 minutes. Okay, let's play a little bit of Angerfoot. Soul, it's a free game that I've seen in one of those end of the year videos that I kept popping up. It's kind of like, someone said it's kind of like Warhammer-ish, but you have your units like this and then they fight like this. It's kind of like strategic, and I was like, okay, I'm a bit intrigued. Haven't entered the game yet. You do have DLCs, that's how they make money, but the game is free to play. McPixel 3, I remember playing McPixel 1 and McPixel 2, and then I noticed that McPixel 3 I had installed on Game Pass, but then the game was leaving Game Pass and I was like, oh man, the game is leaving Game Pass and I haven't played it. And then I saw on Steam that it was for like, the price was like 2 or 3 euros and I bought it. Haven't played it yet. Caves of Qt, I talked a bit in the game, in the video last time. Miami Lane, another cute game that I noticed and I was like, let's play something chill. I can't really put my finger, I only played it a little bit. Like you're trying to do things, you're building things on the street, like shops, and then people are coming and then they are buying things and you're trying to find the correct recipe so you get more money and more something like that. And then it was cheap. I was like, let's buy it, it looks cute. So yeah, can't really go deep dive. Tiny Glade, I was very intrigued by the game concept. I played a demo version of it. I was like, okay, I want to buy it. I bought it, I played it for 0.2. And it's one of those things where I'm creative sometimes, but when I look what other people are doing, and I see and I'm like, I'm not creative. I'm very analytical and logical, and I like to do flows and things like that, which, so I guess this is some things when I approach things, I feel like that. But then again, I see what other people are doing, I'm like, what the hell am I doing? But anyway, I'm intrigued by this game, and I do want to play it some more to see how to put it. It's amazing on what some people are doing it. I do have a guide open, because there are like tricks. If you want to obtain something, you have to do some things. But anyway, it's, in case you don't know about the game, it's kind of like a diorama builder. You are not really building any, you are not playing a game, there is no game over or things like that, but you can do, as you can see, you can do paths, you can do buildings, you can do windows, and you just put them there. But if you combine things, there are somehow, I don't know, just look at the video. Sizable, what the hell is this? I think I saw Mirza buying this game, and then I also bought it, overwhelmingly positive, but I have no idea what this game is about. But yeah, Trepang 2, I talked about this game in my last video. I was in the mood for some shooters. I should play it some more so I can finish it, but I kind of got bored a little bit. Space Heaven, this game, it's in early access. Generalo got it for my birthday. Thank you, Generalo. Shout out to him. Haven't played it yet. It's in early access. Balatro, I talked about this. Helldivers, Warhammer 2 Space Marines, I talked about those games in the last video. Cultic, did Cultic came out already? It did, but I think they're doing it episodic. They are working on the second episode or something like that. I was in the mood for boomer shooters, and yeah, I bought it. I haven't played it. Ultra Kill, same thing with Ultra Kill. Like, it's like overwhelming. You put like insane ratings for this game. It's kind of like a fast-paced boomer shooter, and I was very, very intrigued by the way you do things. Played it for 0.1, but it's in early access, so I'm still going to chill a bit. We did Ostronauts, another game that's in early access. But I wasn't intrigued by the concept of the game a little bit. But it is the thing, like, I don't know what it was with me in November and December, but I spent so much money on books, comic books, video games. I don't know, I think I was depressed or something. But generally I'm much more like, oh, this game is 20 euros, I'm not going to buy it. But then I'm going to order some food that's 20 euros from, you know, restaurant, whatever. But generally I'm thinking much more better, you know, what I want to buy or so on. But this game is also in early access. It's from the same guy that Blue Bottle Games that made Neo Scavenger from years ago. This was a Flash game that I played in 2010 or something like that. Xenotilt, I like pinball. This is the new table that I've been doing. Music-wise, it's also very amazing. Haven't played that much. The first game, but then I noticed that it was a bug. The flippers, they didn't feel like they were pushing. They feel more like slingshots, but it was kind of like a bug from what I understand. It doesn't have this problem right now, but anyway, I have to play this some more. Locomotive, this is one of those, you know, I'm still receiving free games occasionally, and I got this one for free and then I installed it because I was intrigued by it, but I haven't entered it. Zero Sievert, I'm going to make a big video about it. Warhammer 40k Split Freaks, I'm in the mood to do orcs, and yeah, it's a free-to-play game where you play orcs on one of their buildings and then you shoot things, so it's kind of like a shooter. I was intrigued by the concept. My dream setup, someone bought this for me. It's another kind of like a diorama builder, but you are basically building a room like this. I was like, I just got it on the wish list, but then someone from my friends bought it. She bought it, Gypsy. I was like, okay, thank you. Like, I don't even know Gypsy, but someone, I saw that she plays pinball 2 years ago or something, so I accepted the friends. We never chatted. I have people on my friends that we never chat. Then she bought this for me. Pinball M, of course, City Bus Manager. I talked about this in the last video. Again, I have to spend time to play this. Timberborn, it's in early access at least, so I'm not going to touch it yet. Deep Rock Galactic Survival, I'm still waiting for more patches until I'm going to fully commit to it. I already have 25 hours on the game. Farlanders, it was cheap at least. I talked about this last video. Pinball FX, Crusader Kings 3, Nimble Rails. Why the hell did I buy this? I do enjoy trains, I do enjoy transportation and things like that, and then you can start a game anywhere on the map, but then it's one of those games where you need to spend a lot of time learning the game, like UI wise, where you click, where you do what, how you do things, and I wasn't in the mood, and it's also still in early access, so I was like, okay, I will do this later. Deadlock, new Valve news game, Rules Maker gave it to me, haven't played it. This is a game that came out on some lists and I was intrigued. It's cheap, it's made by one guy, I believe, and I was intrigued that, again, you control a ship and you do things. And I was like, okay, it's only 5 euros, I'm going to buy it, but haven't played it. Seems a bit right. Beltmatic, I wasn't in the mood to one of those factory games. It was also cheap, I bought it, but then I only played it for a little bit. Like, I'm in the mood for factory games, but then they are kind of overwhelming me too much, so I'm not touching them. Deep Rock Galactic is still being installed. I haven't played it in some months. Oh, Totsa finally decided to buy the game. Finally. Man. Deep Rock Galactic is one of my favorite games, if I am to say so. Almost 400 hours played. The Planet Crafter, I talked about this last game. Wasn't able to go into it. I should maybe even uninstall it. I don't know. Sometimes it's not even the game's fault. It's my fault, and I feel that it's red. It doesn't look that good. I don't enjoy red that much, you know. I wasn't able to go into this. Even that I enjoy base building, like Subnautica was very, very fast. Even that I wasn't never attracted by oceans and things like that, I was able to get into Subnautica, and I was kind of having like a pretty good flow. but I don't know why I wasn't able to get into this one. Suzerain, I've talked about this. The same thing with Talos Principle. Song of Conquest, I do really have to play it, and I believe they even released a DLC, which is 11 euros. I'm not going to pay that until I play the game some more. I should just pick up and play it. Same thing with High Fleet, I bought it. Shadows of Doubt, I talked about it. I did talked about those games. I've been waiting for this game for some time. They released Call Simulator some time ago, and I really enjoyed this concept of on how you play, kind of like the UI, kind of like cards, and how you put them in, and then things happen based on what you do and how you combine things to do things. It's a bit weird to explain. And then I looked online. I only played for 1 hour, but the game in total is like 20 something hours of content. It's a bit niche in a way, but I don't know why. I think it is one of those games that, oh man, I should install this on Steam Deck, because some games are like, it's nice when you Cultic Simulator I actually bought on iPad, because it's nice that you can tap around with the cards, and I can just play by sitting like this while sitting at my desk on my monitor to do cards. It feels slow, and I'm not in the mood to do that sometimes. Cardboard Town, I've been having this game installed for some time, only played it for 6 minutes from what I see. I enjoy maps, I enjoy cities, I enjoy and things like that, and I enjoy card games, and this was an interesting combination of card games and cities and all that, but I wasn't able to go into it too much. It's kind of like one of those research games that I'm playing just so I can do research. Circuits of Gindea, Jesus Christ. This game I've been having since 2014, 13. They gave me a key on one of those platforms that got obsolete, and then I moved the key on Steam. And it's only like 5 years ago or 4 years ago, I remembered the game. How was that game called? But because I have like 2000 and something games on Steam, I need a curator for the games that I have on Steam. Like, I can't really go, oh, this is the game. So I don't know, at some point I was like, this is that game that I was looking for. So I've installed it, and I kept it installed since then because I wanted to track its progress. And last year it finally came out after like 11 years or something. But I only played it on Steam Deck a little bit, as you can see, very, very little bit. But it's a cute game and so on. Ozymandias, it's an interesting take on the 4X kind of games. It's made to be short and much more narrower, how to put it. And I was like intrigued by the concept, but then I got into the game. I was like, I'm not in the mood to learn the game right now, so I haven't touched it. When I got it in February, so it's almost 1 year. So those games are installed since 2023. Necesse, it's still in early access. This is why I'm not touching it yet. I was intrigued. I think it's co-op also. It's a multiplayer game also. Micro Civilization, I was in the mood for those idle games, and this was interesting because it combines civilization and progress in history, and I like history with those idle games. So I bought it at some point, played a little bit, and then now I'm waiting. It seems that the game is now on mixed reviews. Why? To click heavy, I want to play it, but I don't really like it. It's still in early access. I'm going to wait for it. I already paid for it, so Shadows. I tried to play the game like twice, but I wasn't able to. I remember buying the game right after playing Baldur's Gate. This is kind of like Commandos, Desperados type of game and I was intrigued by the concept. Visually, it's very appealing, and the pirates wise, I'm kind of like in the sea pirates. I mean, I've been reading books about. I've started to read books about pirates and more about this Age of Exploration parts. But the thing is, I played the game. I started to play the game after finishing Baldur's Gate 3, and whenever I was killing one of those enemies, I instantly wanted to click them to loot them, and was like, I need to play some kind of other game that doesn't have the same perspective, top-down perspective, isometric, whatever. But yeah, it's been installed since then, and I haven't played it, but it's the type of game that I enjoy a lot. But Black Skylands, I again that I received for free. And Hungry Couch Games, they just released Drillcore, the game that I've talked about, that I enjoyed the gameplay loop. And I thought, hey, those guys also released this game, and I was a bit intrigued, especially since the reviews are pretty positive. I was like, let me install it so I can try to play it. But of course, I just installed it and I stopped there. Only a couple of more games. Oh man, this is a free game, card game that I've installed but haven't played. Again, part of research. Tile Cities. I played some kind of free version for this. Again, maps, and I enjoy this type of. So I kind of got it. It was very cheap anyway. I only played the free version. It seems that the guy is planning to release. Oh, he just released the second game now with more 3D. I don't enjoy the 3D that much. I like the 2D, but anyway. It's nice that the guy is releasing things. BattleBit Remastered, it's still installed. It seems that it's mixed right now. People haven't kept up with the updates. But man, when BattleBit came out, I was so in the mood, and I realized how much I missed like a proper shooter game like Battlefield 3, Battlefield 4. I really missed playing one of those multiplayer games where I can just come in and then shoot, have some fun, troll some players, knife some players, and just go out. I usually like to play like an anti-sniper because I know the spots where the snipers went, and I kind of started to hunt those. And the thing with BattleBit Remastered, one thing that I liked was the fact that because it didn't have like those huge 3D graphics, huge load times that Battlefield had. It was like poof, just like that, you're in the game and you're playing the game. But it seems that they haven't released updates in a long time, more than 1 year, I believe. And as you can see, people are starting to downvote this. This one is also mixed. Why is this mixed? Again, a card game that had interesting concept. It looked good, and I bought it to play it a little bit. But then it remained like this, boring, not useful. But anyway, I'm not sure why it's mixed right now. Industria, a game that's supposed to be pretty fast, like 7 hours. Was intrigued by the visual aspects, and I was in the mood to play some shooter with interesting aspects. And I bought it 2 years ago. Haven't played it. Took support. I do enjoy this type of UI games where they are putting you in the role of something else, like a hacker or other things like that. And I saw this, I was like, okay, let's buy it. Haven't played it. Distant Worlds 2. I mean, I do have a tutorial. I do enjoy that video that I made, a Distant Worlds 1 tutorial that I've done like 11 years ago, 12 years ago. They released the second version now, but it kind of like the reviews were mixed. It's still pretty low, as you can see, because probably the reviews remained, as you can see, a lot of people voted negative back then, because when the game came out it wasn't like that ready, let's say. But then they worked on it, but I'm still somehow waiting for, I'm not sure what. I've tried to re-enter it a couple of times to dedicate myself to the game a little bit, but because it's very intriguing. Like, you see a planet, a solar planet, but then everything is getting super huge, randomly generated. And the thing is that you start from one solar system, and it's really taking you 5 minutes to go from the middle to a planet at the end of the system, and then you research the engine, the drives that can do light speed, and then you immediately have access to the whole universe. And the thing is that you can automate the whole game. You don't like to build custom ships, you let the AI build the ships for you, and you just construct them. You don't care about some aspects, you just let the game do that for you. Potion Craft, I like the visual aspects of the game. I played it a little bit in early access. Then the game came out and I was like, okay, I'm intrigued, let's play it some more, but it didn't click for me. But then I recently noticed it's also overwhelmingly positively lately, much better than the overall reviews. They released a version 2.0 in December, and this is why I've installed it. I was like, okay, let's try it some more. And as you can see, there are a couple of positive reviews here. So yeah, maybe I will try to play it again, probably not. Star Valor 2022, this one is installed. It's made by one dude. Again, you control a ship, you do things, and then you do unlocks and so on and so on. I was intrigued by it. It's very positive reviews. 1.1 hours, haven't touched it since then. Nova Drift, again, it's I played it a little bit. It's kind of like those stick shooters, how to put it, with a ship that you control and then you unlock things, kind of like Asteroids. I installed it to do some research on it, not touching it yet. Urbex City Builder, again, I want to play because I enjoy city builders and so on, and this game has good reviews. Mostly positive recently, but then very positive in general. And then again, 2021, these games have been installed. Man, this is like almost 4 years ago. Inscriptions, almost 3 hours. People said that it's a good game, and as you can see, and yeah, but then I wasn't able to get into it. Most of the time, it's not the game's fault; it's my fault. My mind wanders off and whatnot. Rustler, this is kind of like GTA but with medieval things, and I was okay, let's try it out, seems interesting. And then from top down, like old school GTA, I'm not sure what I said. Unbound, it's a Romanian game. I think Ziemba bought it for me, haven't touched it. Warbox, Paradise Killer, I wanted to play this game years ago, but then when I started the game, I wasn't in the mood. It was during summer, as you can see, and during summer I can't play these games where you need to concentrate a bit on the story. Star Wars Rebellion, this is a game that it has been influencing me a lot in some of the things that I've been dreaming about when I'm to design games and things like that. I've been playing this game since 2001, something like that. It's a game from '98, which got remastered some years ago, and it's still installed for me. The Sexy Brutal, Tota bought this game for me, and I started the game twice. It's very interesting concept. It also seems to be Steam Deck verified. I'm not sure why it's mixed. Basically, you are trying to find out who the murderers are, but it involves time, and you have to see how you roll back time, because I think the time keeps repeating, and you're trying to find the patterns. Kind of like every couple of 20 minutes or something like that, the time repeats. Why is the game mixed review? It's a murder mystery look game, but I'm a bit bizarre why. It's only recently a bit of one review, but I don't know, it's weird. Because it's not a bad game. Kentucky Route Zero. I've been waiting for this game to get the fifth episode, and they got the fifth episode in 2018, and then I still haven't played it. I was like, I'm going to play this on Steam Deck, and I think it works on Steam Deck. And maybe it's a point and click adventure. Maybe sometimes I will finally play it. Cogmind, again, I've been waiting for this game to come out. And then Software Inc. It's a game where you build a software company, and I've installed it since because I played the game in 2015 when it came out, and then I've been forgot about it and was like, hey, the game is still in early access. And it's like one guy working on the game, and he's been improving the game, whatnot. It's still like people are not complaining that the game is not coming out, so it's still, very much very high rating. The game has like a lot of systems on the way you hire engineers, software designers, and so on, the way you build your offices, and the way you release the software, and so on and so on. Haven't touched it in years. It seems that in September 29 is the last patch where he got piercing and publishers and project management, and again, the game has like a lot of systems. And anyway, I've been rambling about for 40 minutes. It's exactly what I wanted, just me to talk around, to get the voice going, to see how things are. I don't know. My videos are kind of those videos that you play a game or something and you let me talk in the second monitor or something like that. But anyway, this is it for now. I will do a video soon, a more deep dive into one of the games that I've been talking about, and showcase you some of the games that I've been playing. That's about it. Don't forget to subscribe to Pet Rambles. Go to Pet Rambles, search Pet Rambles